Welcome to LifeTalk with Janice and Kelly, and we have a really special guest today, Jocelyn Pettitt from Canada. You own the business Edson Emotion Reset,
Mhm.
and so welcome to our show, and we're excited to hear from you today.
Thank you for having me. Thank you, Kelly
So I have a
and
couple of
Janice. Thank you.
questions. How did you get into what you do? And I'm going to let you
Oh,
share what you do.
yes, of course. That is such a big question in how I came across, emotion code, emotional healing. I will be honest and say that I was a library student. I was taking my librarian courses because I worked as a school librarian. And one of the documentaries on an app I was researching was Emotion, and it's E-motion. And I was curious, so I watched it. And it really resonated with me. Like something, it was almost like a light bulb went off in my head. This is truth. Like it's just everything in me believed what it was saying. So I watched it again the second night with my children, and I was just obsessed. I became so interested to try this modality. And the next week I had an appointment with a chiropractor, and I was saying, "What do you know about energy healing?" And he said, "I don't know too much about it, but I know an emotion code practitioner."
Sure.
And I was looking for an emotion code practitioner, and the chiropractor gave me a name and a number. He said, "I know one." And I was very excited to experience this work. So I walked into the office and I said, "I'm here to experience this. Everything is great in my life. I have no complaints. I just want you to do what you do." And as I lied there, and she started to clear emotions off of me that I didn't realize I was holding on to all these years, tears just started to fall down my face. And I was shocked because it resonated. It resonated with events that had happened in my life. It resonated with my marriage. And I was just blown away. And when I sat up, I felt like a weight was lifted off my shoulder, and I felt different. And so that was my first experience with it. And it really did draw me in and open my awareness to another world and another part of healing that I had no idea existed. We all know about, our physical health that we go to doctors for, which is necessary, and mental health, which we see the mental health professionals for. There's spiritual, which is really individual, your connection with God or source. And no one really talks about the emotional or energetic side of things. And so that was another part of the healing that was really interesting to me.
That is so cool. Because I have a similar story where I was looking for a practitioner and went, because I thought it was hokey and I didn't
Yeah.
believe,
Yeah.
even though I understood quantum physics and stuff, but
Yes.
yeah, but definitely proved me wrong.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so
It's, yeah.
what did you do from there? Because you had to get certified.
Yeah, so it was an interesting journey. I finished my library courses, and I actually did not book another session for a whole nother year, which is it's strange, but everybody's on their own path, their own journey, and a lot had to happen in that year, and a lot did happen in that year. It was the beginning of a lot of change for me. And so great things started to happen career-wise. I finished my library courses. I was promoted in my position to a high executive position, executive assistant position, and life was looking great. I was planning to go to Greece. All of these things were fabulous in my life. And then, things started to not go so well, I think, in my marriage. And I started to really open my eyes and look at my life in the lens and decide, okay, this is the path I'm going on. I know where my future, I know what it will look like on this path. And is that what I want for myself? And I think that's a question that I always had in all of my work experience was, I'm here. Can I picture myself doing this for the rest of my life?
Mm.
And so just having that open question to the universe, and I tell clients this all the time, is imagine where you're going to be on this trajectory, on this path. And are you happy? Are you content with that? And if not, change it now, because that's the path that you're on. And so once a year had passed and things started to shift, I went back to the practitioner and I said, "I'm ready to heal it all. Let's go. Let's do this. And
Nice.
let's tackle the heart wall."
Did you have a question, Janice? I saw your facial expression.
No, it It's the enthusiasm. Once you've experienced releasing those emotions and how good that feels, then it does ignite some excitement and some motivation to see what else is there and what else can we get rid of.
Yes, I agree 100%. You don't know the weight of everything you're carrying until you feel the weight of its release. And I tell people that all the time too, because we build it as we go through life. You know, you just carry more and more and more of this emotional baggage. But once you start to feel how good it feels to let it go, you're very correct in that, you know, you're releasing blockages. So creativity starts to flow in, possibility starts to flow in, hope starts to flow in. And if you allow your mind to imagine and to ask the question, you know, I don't know where I'm going, but I expect that I'm going to do great things and I'm going to figure it out, then the universe is going to answer you and say, yes, you will figure this out. And I'm going to help you because you've now opened up the realm of possibilities. And so the emotion code was the beginning of that journey for me. And once I did, you know, release everything that I wanted to release, I was interested in becoming a practitioner, mostly just to work on my family and my children. I was very happy in the jobs that I was in. And I thought, no, this is great. I'll just do this as a side, you know, a side thing because I enjoy it so much. And then COVID hit the world. And so we always look at our timelines based on COVID. And I had this crossroads where, you know, they were saying, do you want to come back to work? Or do I take that risk and go into business for myself and do this only full time? And so I was at this crossroads, really struggling, really not knowing what is the right thing to do. And I signed up to learn about PSYCH-K. And PSYCH-K is really about your belief system. And when you go into the training, they ask you, what issues do you want to work on? And every question I had was, do I go into my business or do I go back to my job? And one of the beliefs that came up for me that I needed to balance or put into my belief system was, I have the ability and capability to make a positive difference in this world. It was already set out and it was there. And my belief system was weak, but it said, you need this one. And so I did it. I balanced it. And when I came home, it was the Monday I came home, I received an email from my employer. And it was that email, and I won't share or disclose what it said, but it was the email that said, this is your answer. You need to go this way. You need to go into business for yourself and you need to take that risk and jump in. Even not knowing that you're going to have a steady paycheck, not knowing that, you know, you work this many hours and you get this much income, you need to do this. So I said, thank you for the offer, but no, thank you. I'm not coming back. And I went into my business in COVID. And so it was a risk, but I had just come back from PSYCH-K training. I knew that I had to work on my beliefs in order to be successful. And so I did that little by little, step by step. And that is where it all began.
That is so interesting because Janice and I are both emotion code certified, and you went to PSYCH-K first. So that's really
Yes.
interesting because I've been to PSYCH-K training also, but I did it after I met with you.
Well, no, I did PSYCH-K after I was already certified as a practitioner. Yes.
Okay.
So
Okay.
even while I was working, I was certified in emotion code and I was certified in body code even before I went to PSYCH-K. PSYCH-K was
Okay.
one of the last modalities. Yes.
Okay.
But it
Because I
was,
was like, whoa, how did you get there? Because that's a
uh,
big stretch to jump to PSYCH-K before the emotion code body code.
yeah, no, it came after. And the reason is because the emotion code body code is really meant for healing your past trauma energies. It's letting go of the past that's already happened. And a lot of practitioners were interested now, okay, but how do we work on our belief system? And so I had heard of PSYCH-K, experienced one session of PSYCH-K, and I said, I would like to tackle this next part of my healing because when you tackle the belief system, you tackle your possibilities for the future. So I always tell people your beliefs create your reality, your beliefs, PSYCH-K, that's for your future, where you're going. And emotion code body code is to heal and let go of the past.
Yeah, that's a great way to say that. Um, because I actually I shared before we started that I had found you on Facebook. And at the time, I had a radio show and wanted you to be on the radio show, and you agreed. And then I did sessions with you. And I don't even know how many sessions I did, but was just so impressed by the work you did and how you did it. And then that's where the introduction of PSYCH-K came from. And so
Thank you.
after that introduction, I went to training also, just because it was so incredible.
Yes,
So,
I've referred a lot of people and practitioners to that type of training. So yes, thank
and
you.
so right now, your business, do you, because the way I remember your session, you don't specifically do a PSYCH-K session or an emotion code session. You kind of combine them if it's needed. Correct?
Correct. So yeah, it depends what the clients are looking for. So they can book just emotion code, body code if they're just seeking clearing, and they can book just PSYCH-K if they just want to work on PSYCH-K. I do have people who find me through the PSYCH-K website and they just want to experience PSYCH-K. I do like to combine them both because I think together it's very powerful to heal your past and raise your vibration and then focus a bit on your belief system. So I think it's a power duo, and I do have the combination sessions available as well. But that is how the structure of the business has kind of progressed. And I combine both modalities. I think if you have lots of tools in your toolbox, and there are many people who have more than just these three, but these are the three that I work with, they use them, right? Use them to benefit your clients. And if I don't have something, but I know they would benefit for someone else, I would happily refer them.
Sure. Any questions so far, Janice?
Um, I know well, everything she says makes sense. That you have to really kind of know what you're looking for. You don't have to know the modality, but you need to know what the end result is that you're looking for. So to me, if you do emotion code and body code first, and then you move over and work on your beliefs, then you can visualize what else is possible. Because you
Yes.
don't have the same weight or the same baggage holding you back as a lot of us do, who want things to be much different, but it's like walking through quicksand trying to get there because you're carrying all this extra energy and extra emotion.
Yes. Yes, I agree. I think that, by releasing those blockages, you are opened up now. Things move and shift, and it's not weighing you down in this low vibration. So I agree 100%. And I always recommend, even if people seek me out for PSYCH-K, I do like to say, maybe you should try a little bit of clearing as well, because it is so powerful, but I have to respect whatever they want for that session. I will say too, with the emotion code body code, as beautiful as it was missing that aspect of the beliefs, right? And I know the belief code is coming out, and we're all looking forward for that. But you could heal your past and then end up in the same cycle with the same type of relationships. And that's what I was noticing is, you're healing, 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 but you're not progressing in your life. Nothing is changing in your circumstances. And then people are wondering, why is nothing changing in my circumstances? And that is where that answer to the question comes in. No matter how you tackle it, whether it's through hypnosis, belief code, PSYCH-K, therapy, whatever it is that you're seeking, life coaches, you need to now focus, okay, if you're in the same rut and you're attracting the same circumstances, you need to work on your beliefs. So I agree, healing is definitely a great first step to open up, your energy field to possibilities, open up creativity. And if you want your life to change, the next part of that is to work on your belief system.
Because I think I agree with you. What you said is that people generally do not realize how much garbage they're carrying around every day. Because again, layer by layer, we get used to saying I'm fine.
Mm-hmm.
I had a friend who told me when I finished my PhD that I could no longer use that word because it had no meaning anymore. But
Wow.
we carry all of that, and we don't realize the relief when you do this energy work. And I know when I did my first session with you, I called all my friends. I was like, oh my gosh, you have to book a session with her. It's amazing. She is amazing. And I know my kids have seen you. I don't know if they're going to be happy about me telling you that, but yeah, I mean, I think the way you do the work you do is so amazing. Because again, I'm certified and I'm not near as fast as you are. So you just have such a talent in doing this.
Thank you.
So then I want to ask you, you said you went from working for someone and now you own your own business. How did you do that?
That is a really good question. And I think a lot of practitioners out there also want to know, can I do it? How did you do it? How did you make a living and be successful? And again, it was after the PSYCH-K training and I worked on my beliefs and I said, okay, let's look at this because I'm a numbers person. If you've ever worked with me, you'll know I'm all about the numbers, the percentages. I'm very left-brained and analytical, and I need evidence. So I looked at, let's say, my salary, and I said, okay, if I was making $4,000 a month in this position, that means that I need to earn $1,000 a week seeing clients, which is about, if I work Monday through Friday, that's $200 a day. Okay, now I know what I have to earn. And I think when you give your subconscious mind clarity on what your goal is, then it knows and it starts scanning the universe. Okay, well, how am I going to make this happen for you? And so I remember that first week in September, not going back to work and now deciding to do my business. It was still beautiful weather outside, just sitting in the sun. I had no clients. And I said, okay, I'm going to sit in the sun and I'm going to do PSYCH-K. While I have this time, I'm going to work on my belief system. So I balanced that, I would make $200 a day or more. And I remember hitting it. I remember hitting that first month and saying, okay, I did. Now, once you hit that first goal and your subconscious mind has proven that you are capable, the next thing is to increase that goal because you need to give your subconscious mind breadcrumbs and constant goals to work towards. You need to know what you're aiming towards. Otherwise, it's not working for you. So then I would balance it. Okay, I'm going to increase this now to $250 a day. And so that would be, what is that, $1,250 a week. And then, it's putting me at this rate per month. And I would just keep increasing these goals. What I did notice was that by the time I reached a certain amount and surpassed, I was working 6 days a week, sometimes 8 or 9 hour days, and I was exhausted.
Yes.
So then I think we've all hit that. We have like this financial goal. You're just so driven by your business and you don't want to say no to anybody and you just keep going, keep going, keep going. And I realized that it was a little bit unsustainable and that it was not, the money wasn't, worth it for me to keep going at that rate. So a couple of things happened. My business was growing. I had received my first government contract in Canada for an EAP program, which is an employee assistance program. And I was very excited, very proud of this accomplishment because I didn't know any other emotion code practitioner who was on a contract now to provide services for people. And I was very happy with the way things were going. And that's when I began in 2021. I had met a client, Alyssa Lansdale, and we decided to create a corporation. And the corporation would house certified practitioners, but then I could also divulge some work that I was receiving to other people. And then hopefully eventually have that be like more of a passive income, but also help other practitioners grow their business. So that is kind of how that grew for me. I was growing. And then I said, okay, how much do I really want to give of myself? How much energy do I really want to put out there? Because I was feeling exhausted and not enjoying life. Sundays were my only days off and I couldn't move. Like I needed to just stay on the couch and get my energy for the next 5-6 days. So then I started to change and I took days off and I started to work 4 or 5 day weeks with clients. And that is kind of how that progressed.
Okay, so you mentioned the business, and I want to come back to that. But I have a couple of questions first, because I completely understand that point of exhaustion. Because when I went full-time private practice, I was seeing 48 clients a week in 4 days, so 12-hour days for about 3 years. and you
Wow.
come to that point where you're like, there's nothing left of me.
Yeah.
So I'm glad you learned that quicker than I did. But you have mentioned it a couple times about balancing, PSYCH-K balancing. And can you give a brief description of what that really means?
Yes, yes, of course. And so Psyche really uses right left brain modalities and right left brain exercises. So a lot of teachers know about right left, how important it is to connect the right and left brain. And so it uses certain right left brain positions for clients and certain affirmations. So what the facilitator will do is they'll ask the client, what is your goal? What and you'll muscle test if that goal is weak or strong in the subconscious mind. So if the subconscious mind does not agree with that goal, so let's use a goal statement like, I am worthy of the best that life has to offer. If your subconscious mind says no to that, and there's ways to muscle test this through kinesiology, um, then you know that your subconscious mind is not on board with you. And your subconscious mind is 95 to 99% of the consciousness. So we have the small part, which is the conscious mind, which we use, and then the subconscious mind, which is the driving force. It's everything. It records every moment of your existence from the time you were in your mother's womb. And it's the driving force, the blueprint of where you're going. So if your subconscious mind is not on board with something, we muscle test it, and then we determine what is the best practice, exercise, position, right, left brain position to program this into the subconscious mind. So we do that with a client, and then we muscle test at the end. Now, what does your subconscious mind say about that goal statement? And we work with them until it says, yes, it's 100% on board. I am worthy of the best that love and life have to offer. And that's it. That's the new programming we're putting into the computer.
And so if a person is doing their intention statements, their positive affirmations, all of these manifesting tools, but their subconscious mind is in disagreement with those statements, what's going to happen?
Well, what's going to happen is it's a waste of time. Really,
Yeah, nothing.
unfortunately, yes. It's if you're saying, if you're 1% of your brain is saying, I believe I'm worthy, and 99% of your subconscious mind is saying you're not, there is a conflict. And what's going to win is your subconscious mind. And that is another part even of advanced psyche, where we look at core beliefs, what's developed from 0 to 8, because those core beliefs that's developed when you're a sponge and you come into this world and you're learning through your senses and your experiences. Sometimes those beliefs are developed when you're at such a young age that you are not even consciously aware that your belief system is saying you can't. And if your belief that you can't is stronger than you can, then guess what's going to win out? Right. And so, yeah, it's very powerful to discover and know where your weaknesses are so that you can change them. It's a power move.
So
Do
I
you
think,
see?
go
Oh,
ahead.
I'm
Sorry.
sorry, Kelly.
No, go ahead.
Do you see that with emotion code, you're releasing something?
Mhm.
In PSYCH-K, do you see that the disagreement, are you going to release the disagreement or are you going to replace it?
You're going
Or
to
is
replace it.
both?
Yeah, it's
Oh,
a very good question. So the emotion code, body code, and I'm assuming the belief code is all about clearing and releasing the negative energy statements that you might have in your field. Psyche is always the positive. We're always focusing on, we're going to program the positive. So the positive is strong. And if that negative exists, we're going to make it so the positive way outweighs the negative. And that is really what a core belief balance does. It looks at both the positive and negative statements and it says, where are you at? Which one is stronger? And if the negative is stronger than the positive, we're going to program the positive. But Psyche is always positive language, positive programming, and there is no energy clearing, but there is energy focusing, if that makes any sense. It's energy psychology is one of the terms they use to describe it.
okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
And so where do you see yourself going from here?
Oh, that's such a good question. I love to be open to the possibilities of how grand and how much better this can get, because it's been such a beautiful journey thus far. I would love to I would love to see the corporation and my business continue to grow. Obviously, the corporation for multiple reasons, because I would love to bring the awareness to the world of what emotional healing can do for them, of what emotion code work, what PSYCH-K and body code work, what this can do for their lives. So I would love to bring that awareness to the world. To it is known in our small little niche communities of people who understand it and believe in it, but I would like to bring that awareness out. And the second part of that would be, of course, just to be a major employer that provides business for practitioners, because we have this great platform, we have this great, application for practitioners, and there are so many of them that could benefit from having more clients. So on a grand scale, to be able to employ many, and if not be the largest employer of emotion code practitioners.
Which would be awesome. Do you want to share about your business platform?
Sure, I would love to share a little bit. Thank you for allowing me. So the business is called High Vibe Inc., and it's high vibe for high vibrational. And it is multifaceted in the sense that we've created two apps. One is for practitioners where they can, upload their certifications, manage their availability, accept clients. And it is directly connected to High Vibe Connect, which is an application for users or clients. And that application is really kind of a dating application, or a place where users can come and meet other people who are also doing this work. So one of the reasons we began this is because a client of mine was going through dating apps and just had a terrible catfishing experience where the person was not who they said they were. And she said, I just wish I could meet someone who was, honest and doing this type of work on the emotional healing journey, let go of their baggage before moving into a new relationship. And that's how that began. And we decided to create a dating application or a place where people can connect and meet. And some of the things that make it unique is that, once you enter or you make a profile, you have to upload a live picture. You can't upload it from your phone. You can't move on until you've taken a real picture. So you have to have a good hair day. And it has to be real. So it does not allow you to upload fake pictures. And so we were very happy to create that difference. And also, you can't connect with anybody, like you can't message anyone unless you've had your heart wall cleared. And really, that heart wall part of it, which only emotion code people would understand, it's that energy protection barrier that people build up. And we want to make sure that our clientele that are connecting, that you've healed your past, that you've let go of your past from past relationships before you're moving on and connecting with our users.
And I will put the links to all of that in the below, so
Thank you.
everyone
Thank you.
can connect to that.
Thank
Yes,
you.
because it's an amazing opportunity. Because I don't know about in Canada, but in the States, the divorce rate, first marriage divorces, is over 50%. And the last time I looked at the statistics, the second marriage divorce rate was around 75%, and the third marriages were around 80% divorce
Oh,
rate.
wow.
And the second and those thirds come quicker, but it's because people aren't healing what they're bringing into the next relationship. And it's just like,
Yes.
I have clients all the time that want to move from one to the next. And I'm going, please finish your healing work,
Yes.
because we energetically attract based on our own emotional health.
Yes. Yes.
Doing
And
the
so,
same thing over and over again and expecting a different result.
Exactly.
yeah. So you've created a platform where people can do that work and then find people who are also energetically, emotionally well.
Yes, yes, that is the goal. It's high vibe people connecting with other high vibe people, and so it has just been launched, and we still are in beta, and right now there is no charge to book with a practitioner, so that's just a little tidbit. But that's because we are just in those beginning stages of testing and how it is doing. But it is available in the App Store and on Google Play. And it is great to get a profile in there because it is going to be just fabulous and a great place. If you've already cleared your heart wall with a practitioner, you can always just let us know and we can automatically give you a badge, because you do need the badge to connect with other people. But I think it's a great place. We have how many 10,000 emotion code practitioners in the world. I'm sure I'm not the only one who has clients where they want to meet other clients who have cleared their stuff. So this is one part of that aspect of that healing, that we are saying, hey, if you've done at least some emotional healing work and you've let go of your heart wall from your past and you want to meet others who are doing the same, this is the place to connect.
Yeah, because I agree with you. The unhealthy people on the dating apps is astronomical. I'll share a story. For one brief second, I went on a dating app and I got a message from a person that was like 25 years younger than me that wanted to come over and provide services.
Yeah.
And,
It's
and,
that's
and I was like, delete profile.
yeah.
No,
Yeah.
I'm just like, I just,
Yeah.
so I am really
Yeah.
happy that you have this opportunity for people to meet other healthy people.
Yeah, and we can't promise that everybody will be perfect, but at least we can promise they've gone through some form of, healing, in the sense that they have let go of their heart wall. And again, we are trying to create this authentic place where, you have to put a live picture, a real picture, unfiltered, of who you are, even to move forward in the app. And you aren't allowed to contact anybody until you've gone through this process with the practitioner, so you've kind of been verified by us. And I think that that is a big thing, because agreement with you, I had only ever joined a dating app for testing purposes when we were going to build one at the recommendation of the board. And so I did. It was less than an hour, because the amount of messages that came in, and it was like sugar daddy type propositions. And I was just horrified and disgusted. I mean, being an independent woman who can take care of myself, maybe that's for one person, maybe that's their thing, but it was not for me. And so right away, delete, 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 never ever did it again. And it was for research purposes only. But yeah, happy that I don't have to navigate that world, that's for sure. And if I do, it will be through High Vibe.
Yeah,
So,
definitely. Definitely. Yeah,
yes.
because it would be interesting for research purposes to see after a week what would happen.
Yeah.
And I know those other apps have filters on them, but they don't filter out in a person's intention.
Yeah, and that is hard to do, I think, right? You still have to move forward with discretion, no matter which platform you're on. And this is definitely not to criticize other platforms, because, they're doing great, they're successful, and I know there's a lot of people who do connect through them. It was just a personal experience on a negative experience from
Yes.
a client, then from my research and from your, short-term experience as well. I think there's more out there that have had unauthentic connections made, and we're just trying to reach a market of people that would prefer to connect to a niche group of people that are interested in this work, that are interested in their healing, and saying, yeah, I'm interested to meet somebody, but I hope you've healed your trauma energies from your first and second divorce, before moving into this new relationship with me.
Sure. Any other questions you have of her or thoughts, Janice?
So you say that the apps are in beta testing at the moment, and so, but
Yes.
they are also, I mean, you can go to the App Store and find
Yes.
both of
Oh,
them.
yes. They're published. So they are published. And when I say beta testing, is we're still updating the versions, and we're discovering, okay, there's a little thing here we need to correct and a thing here. But you definitely can create a profile, get it up there. You can even browse the practitioners, reach out to them. Currently, like, we would take bookings through the website, highvibe.com, which is where you could actually connect. But through the apps as well, you can connect. It's just, at this very moment, the prices are $0. So maybe for that, you might get a 15-minute consultation and get to meet them and decide if this work is for you. But yes, we are still always perfecting those little kinks and errors that we find. So new versions are coming out, but it is available in the App Store and Google Play. And we're very excited to launch this, and see where it goes from here. And hopefully we can bring awareness to this type of healing.
Yes.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm just so grateful to know you. Um, again, I have really respect what you do and how you do it. And so I am grateful to be able to call you a friend.
Oh, thank you. I'm also grateful for you, Dr. Kelly James, and for meeting you, Janice Ross, for allowing me to share my story and to be on your platform today. So thank you.
Yes.
Thank
And
you.
after the apps are fully functioning, we'll have you back and you can share more about how that's going.
Thank you very much. I look forward to it.